Hello? Hello, Tui? Hello? Hello? Hello, Tui?
Hello, teacher.
Hi. Good morning, Tui.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, how are you today?
Yes. Hi, how about you?
I'm good too, thank you. So without further ado, um, we have to proceed. Yeah.
Blue.
Again?
I hear your voice. Chill sit.
No, actually, I just overworked Saturday, Sunday. That's why. Okay,
Uh,
I do have a lot of students from morning up to night. So yeah, my voice is like this. And it's going to be very hot in here too. That's why
yes.
I drink cold water most of the time. That's why my voice is like this.
Yeah, in Vietnam so hot. I think
Uh,
around 40
40 degrees.
degrees. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
same here in the Philippines actually. Just like this one, it's 9 o'clock here in the Philippines, but the rays of the sun is too hot. It's early, but it's too hot actually. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, why? Because that's our lesson, Toy. It's all about global warming, right? So we are experiencing an abrupt. So when we say abrupt, that means it's going to be what is an a fast changing of environment. Okay.
Um,
Yes. So I'm going to share the presentation now to. So we will be going to continue our lesson. It's all about this particular, um, of course, global warming lesson. Okay. Oh,
okay.
you are also you are also
Okay.
yeah, okay. It's because of the weather actually, Toy. Okay. So last time we were able to understand what's a global warming, right?
Yeah.
So we understood by merely listening to the conversation or to the notes in here, right? So what
Mm.
happened? So in different countries around the world, just like in Britain, they experience hot weather, and that cause problems with their country, like work. So work of the people has been affected because of that, as well as the sleep, right? Actually,
Yeah.
it's going to be hot. You can't sleep very well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so therefore, since you cannot sleep, so your health will be affected and it may turn out to dying, right?
Hi.
Yes, and look at this, the temperature's above 30 degrees. Oh, actually, that is not just hot as here in the Philippines, because here in the Philippines, we actually encountered more than this one, right? So it's going to be 40 degrees Celsius, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's becoming more common also. And
Yes.
in Europe, so there would be prediction something like this, and there are also floods, cyclone, and the experts said that it's because of pollution, right? So because
Yes.
of the pollution, because of this, so the reason why we had this particular problem, the global warming. Okay,
Yes.
Chuy? So let's try to continue our lesson with this one. So for the speaking, talking about change. So how are we going to talk about change? So look at the sentences from the text. So to talk about changes, we often use get or become. So what are the things that we should have to, or what are the words that we have to use when we are talking about changes? So we talk about, okay, like get, Okay,
Yes.
and become. And a comparative adjective like warmer
Warm.
or more common.
Come.
Okay, so these are the words that we need to use in order for us to talk about changes. Okay, like for example, can you please read the sentence number 1, Toy? Temperature
Temperature
above
above 30 degrees
degrees.
are becoming more common.
Yes, so the word is becoming and then more common. So the word becoming in here is what we call, okay, the word that it says are becoming. So these are verb, right? So this is a
Yes.
verb, then plus, okay, plus, okay, plus, plus comparative degree of adjective. Okay, comparative, comparative. Wait. Okay, comparative degree. Okay, of adjectives. So it's going to be more. It's going to be something like if it is more, that means it's above. There's many, right? If you're talking about less, that would be lesser. Okay,
Yeah.
and sentence number 2, we can also say the weather.
The weather is getting warmer.
Yes, so we use now the word getting plus adjective, which is warmer. Okay, okay, now in the sentences above, what tense are get and become in? So what do you think would be the tense of this, get and become in?
Hmm.
So there is the so-called tenses
And
of the verb, right?
the
Past
present
tense. Okay, past tense. We have the present tense, we have the past tense.
tense.
Okay, so it's going to be present continuous. Okay, why is
Present
it?
continuous.
Yes, why is it present continuous? Because,
In.
yes,
Verb in.
yeah, and because of the ing verb, or we call this
Yeah.
one
Verb in.
the
Yeah.
ing form of the verb, and it is going to continue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we have to say it's present continuous form of
Continue.
the verb. And it's because of the ing form of the verb, okay? Now, you can also use more. Okay, you can also use more. You can also use less. You can also use fewer with
Fewer.
nouns, okay, to describe a change,
Yes.
right? Okay, so like for example, sentence number 1, Chuy, can you say there were?
There were more silent this year than last year.
Last year. Okay, so we use the word more. And this particular more describes a noun which is a cyclone, right? So
Yeah.
cyclone is a noun. And then before a noun, we use the word more. And this one is adjective. So more, less, fewer are adjective because it describes a noun. Okay, next. Sentence number 2, Toy.
There were less snow this year.
Yes, so the word less again describes a noun which is a snow. And then after that,
There
there,
are fewer forests.
yes, so there are fewer. So the word fewer now describes the noun forests. Okay, so what's the structure of that? So it should be adjective, okay, plus noun. Okay, so if we will be going to give our own example toy, so what it can be also. So we can also say more people, right? So we can say more people.
People.
Okay, what else? If you try to give an example, Toy, can you think of another example that we can be able to give this one? We can also say less,
Thing.
okay, less
Thing.
thing, okay, less thing. Okay, what else? When we say
Fewer.
fewer,
Thing.
fewer
Thing.
thing, okay? Uh-huh. What particular thing is that? So can we specify fewer, let's say fewer papers, right? So paper is a thing, right? So we can say
Yeah.
fewer papers, okay?
Yeah.
Now, later on, we will be going to understand when do we use less, few, or more, okay? Okay, so do you have questions with this toy?
No more question.
Okay, now let's move on. Which of these words do you use fewer? Okay, so we will going to understand which of the following words use fewer and which do you use these
Less.
particular words with the word less. Write them in the correct column. Okay, like for example, when we say fewer, that means cars, right?
Mm.
Okay, what else aside from word cars? What are we going to say we use fewer?
Less eyes.
Okay. Okay, that would be less eyes. Next.
Mm.
So we're done with the eyes.
Pollution for less.
Okay, less pollution. Okay, so
Yeah.
why is it less pollution?
Because I think this is mm,
Okay, later on, we're going to study that one too, okay? What
yeah.
else? So pollution is done. What about floods?
Plus the less.
Yes, flood.
Less.
Actually, it's fewer flood.
Fewer. Oh,
Fewer floods. Okay. Later on, we're going to explain that one to you. Okay, next. So floods has been done already. Next, what about rain?
rain. Rain is less.
Less rain. Okay. Less rain. Okay, next. What about? So rain is done. Energy.
Energy in nóng. Nhiệt. A few.
Okay.
Fewer.
Fewer energy.
Fewer.
Actually, it's less
Uh,
energy, Toy. Okay. Next. So we're done with the energy. Okay. So there are only two things left. So airplanes and fires.
fewer.
Okay. Fewer airplanes and okay, and fewer fires. Okay. So fewer fires and fewer airplanes. Okay, just for a moment. Fires. Okay. Okay, look at this toy. Okay.
Yeah.
So the words like fewer, as you can observe in here, we use
Yeah, yes.
S and S,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Why? This is what you're going to understand. We use fewer with countable nouns. Okay, so I have
Yeah.
here, huh? So fewer okay, is to be used if you're talking about countable nouns. So what are those countable nouns? Okay, like for
Yes.
example, so example of countable nouns would be, okay, like, okay, trees, right? Like, aside from that, like mountains, okay? So when we say countable nouns are nouns that can be counted, right, Joy? So
Yes.
can we count trees? Yes. Can we count mountains? Yes. Oh, what else aside from that? Chairs, right? We can also count chairs. Okay. And usually the use of the fewer, okay, would be with an S at the end. Okay, Toy? So we can also
Yeah.
say fewer cars. Fewer cars, fewer floods, fewer airplanes. Now, as you can see in here, the word floods. Floods are water, right? Are water.
Yes.
But actually, water cannot be counted. Remember that, huh? Liquid cannot be counted, Toy. So supposed to be, when we are talking about water, so it should be less water. We do not say fewer water, okay?
Yes.
Because water is cannot be counted. But if that particular water already been becoming a flood, okay, so we
Yeah.
can count that one. Like for example, floods in the Philippines. So we have this particular flood only in the Philippines. Floods in Vietnam, right? Floods in the United States. So floods in Venice. Okay. So there is a specific nouns in there that we can count. So therefore, we can also say that floods is considered to be countable. Okay. Also with the fires, right? As we can see, fire, it's going to be, we cannot count the fire actually, right? Okay. But
Yeah.
if we were going to say fires in Canada, okay, or the bushfire fire in Australia, so we can count that one now, right, Toy? And airplanes, we can count that one. Actually, in London, they call that one as aeroplane, but it's also the same when we say airplane. Okay, Toy?
Yeah.
So airplanes in London, they call that one as airplanes. They spell that one like this. But in US, they spell airplane like this. But airplanes and airplane is just only the same. Okay,
Yes.
Toy? And we use less if you're talking about uncountable nouns. Okay, so that's the time that we can be able to identify less is used for uncountable. Okay, nouns. Nouns that cannot be counted. Okay, like for example, water. Okay, sugar. Okay. What else? Soil, right? Or there are any other. Okay. And like this one, ice. Of course, we cannot count ice. Pollution, we cannot also count pollution. Okay. Rain, of course, we cannot count the rain. Energy, we cannot count energy. That's why they don't have plural form of this, right? Like we don't have ices. Okay, we do not put we do not use plural on the particular uncountable noun. So we do not say pollutions, we do not say rains, we do not say energies. So we don't have that one. Okay,
Yeah.
because they don't have plural form of it. Okay, so that would be it too. So do you have any questions so far with this, Toy?
No
No
more question.
more. Okay. Now, going back in here, okay, we have, before we have to go through our next continuation. So learning tip, try to understand the words that are strongly stressed. because these are often the most important words. So
Yeah.
when we are talking about strongly stress, okay, we already studied that one too, right? That one that's you pronounce them in a rising intonation. Like for example, expensive. So the word pen is to be stressed, okay? Okay,
Yes.
expensive. And when we say our lesson last time, when we say you should, you should take, okay, you should take, okay, you should take, okay, the word take is to be stressed because that one is important. Okay, now there is here, did you know that in the US, temperature,
Temperature
okay, is
is
measured in degrees Fahrenheit. This is how we write, okay, degrees Fahrenheit. But in UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, the temperature is measured in degrees
lecture.
Celsius. Yes. Okay, like this one. So this one is what we call degrees Celsius or centigrade. So Celsius on centigrade is just only the same. Like for example, water boils at 212 Fahrenheit and 100 degrees centigrade or Celsius. Okay? Now that's the US degrees Fahrenheit. This one.
Yeah.
But in the UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, we use degrees centigrade or Celsius. In the Philippines, we use also degrees centigrade or Celsius. Okay? But there is a conversion of that, right? So there is a conversion. Okay? So when we are talking about degrees Fahrenheit, it can also be maybe same with 100 degrees Celsius,
Yeah.
right, Toy? Oh, if this would be the case, we will burn. If 100 degrees centigrade, our let's say our temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius, what happened to us? Maybe we're going to melt.
We are already dying.
Yes, so we were going to melt. Why? Because it's going to be hot. 100
Yeah.
degrees. Wow. So as if we are like um steel, actually iron and steel will be burned if the heat is 100 degrees Celsius or centigrade, right? Okay, how
Yeah.
much more? We are just human, right? Toy? Okay. Oh, look at this, huh? We are experiencing 40 degrees centigrade at this time. But what happened? We are now, we are now, okay, in a very hot situation, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, as if 40 degrees centigrade is going to be very hot. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I keep on drinking cold water because of that. That's why my voice is like this.
Yeah.
Okay, just like yesterday, we eat an ice cream. Yeah, together with my family, we eat an ice cream because in the noontime it's very hot. So my
Yeah.
wife said, "Okay, can you buy an ice cream?" So we bought an ice cream yesterday and eat them. That's why what happened to my voice. Okay. So do you have questions with that, Toy?
Yeah. No
No
more question.
more. Okay, let's proceed with this lesson. Okay, sound smart now. So stressing important information. Okay, let's try to listen to audio number 67 to some questions asked in the next. In its question, the most important information is stress. Which word has the strongest stress? Underline one word in each sentence. Let's try to listen with this one to it. So that would be 67.
Recording 67. A.
So what's causing all this?
Pause.
B.
Are these changes due to global warming?
C.
Are we causing these problems?
Ah,
Okay. Can we repeat it? Okay, let's try to repeat it again, huh?
Recording 67.
Listen.
A.
So what's causing all this?
Okay. What's
Causing.
causing all
Causing,
this?
yeah.
What is the word that
Cause.
we stress? So the word is
Cause.
causing, right? So what's causing all this, right? Okay, next. Letter B. Let's try to listen.
B.
Are these changes due to global warming?
Okay. Are these changes due to global warming? So what is the stress?
Warming.
Warming. Good. Very good. Now let's try to listen to letter C.
C.
Are we causing these problems?
Okay. So what's the,
Causing.
are we causing these
Causing.
problems?
Yeah.
Actually, it's we. Tuy.
Free.
Yes. So
Yeah.
are we causing these problems? Okay. So number one, the underlined words like causing is stress. So why is it stress? Because the word causing in sentence number one is the most important information.
Yeah.
So what's causing all this, right? And then, are these changes due to global warming? So the word
Warming.
warming now is
Yeah.
stress because the word warming in here is, okay, is important. And then, letter C, are we causing these problems? So the word we now is stress because who caused the problems? Of course, we.
Free.
Yeah,
Mm.
right? So therefore, we should have to emphasize or stress the we. Okay? Now, can we please read this one with the proper stress, Toy? Letter A.
So what causing on this?
Okay, correct.
Are the trend due to global warming?
That's correct.
Are we causing this problem?
Okay. The we is emphasized. Toy, are we causing these problems?
Are we causing this problem?
You actually
Are
you're
we,
yeah, that's it. Okay, go.
are we causing this problem?
That's correct. Okay, so the we is emphasized, not the causing in this
Yeah.
particular sentence.
Are
Okay,
we causing this
are
problem?
we causing these problems? Okay,
Yes.
that would be it. Okay, next. Here are some other sentences from the text. For each sentence, underline the words which you think have the strongest stress. So letter A is given. It's difficult to work. It's difficult to work. Okay? So the words difficult and work is to be stressed. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what about in letter B?
Letter B. Difficult sleep.
Okay, very good. So the words are difficult and sleep. So how are we going to say that? It's difficult to sleep. Okay, next, letter C, Toy.
Causing problem.
Actually, it's a health and
Health.
problems. Okay, so it's causing health problems. Okay,
Yeah.
next, letter D. In Antarctica, the ice is melting.
Ice melting.
That's correct. Okay, ice and melting. Letter E. Okay, letter E, that would be,
Getting hotter.
okay, actually, it's the earth and it should be
Hotter.
hotter. Okay, so the earth is getting hotter. Okay, next, letter F.
Blue.
It's just only one.
Blue Indian.
Floods. Okay, so it should be
Flood.
floods. Okay, so we've heard about the floods in India. Okay, yes. Oh, here. Okay, now let's try to listen again to hear Toy, huh?
Yeah.
Let's try to listen again in here, and then let's try to listen if our answer is correct. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to listen with our answer. That would be in 68.
Recording 68. A.
It's difficult to work.
Mhm.
B.
It's difficult to sleep.
Okay, do you think our answer is correct?
Correct.
Yes. Okay, letter C.
C.
It's causing health problems.
Okay, do you think our answer is correct? It's causing
Causing
health
health
problems.
problem.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, yes. Next, letter D.
D.
In Antarctica, the ice is melting.
Okay, the ice is melting. Okay.
Okay.
Letter E.
E.
The earth is getting hotter.
Okay, the earth is getting hotter. Okay. Letter
Hotter.
F.
F.
We've heard about the floods in India.
Okay, we've heard about the floods in India, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can we do this one, Troy, one more time? Okay, can you stress the words clearly? It's difficult to work.
It's difficult to work.
Okay, correct. It's difficult to sleep.
It's difficult to breathe.
Very good. It's causing health problems.
It's causing health problems.
Correct. In Antarctica, the ice is melting.
In Antarctica, the ice is melting.
Okay, the ice is
The
melting.
It's melting.
Correct. The earth is getting hotter.
The earth is getting hotter.
Correct. We've heard about the floods in India.
We heard about the floods in India.
Very good. Okay, so we already did this one now. Now let's move on to the speak up activity that we have here. So talk about the changes in summer and winter in your country over the last 10 years. Okay, example letter A, where you are going to say summer is getting hotter or winter is getting colder. Okay, so we use the word get, okay, then hotter, okay, and then winter. In winter, it's getting again and colder. Okay,
Yeah.
so that would be a choice. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay, letter B, what are we going to do with that?
The summer is getting longer. The winter is getting shorter.
Very good. Okay, good job. So we can also say that, okay, for a while I have to make this one smaller. So we can say that summer, sorry, so summer,
Is
summer is getting longer. Oh, what? Wait. Getting longer, or winter is getting shorter. Okay, correct. So next, what about in letter C?
summer is getting colder.
Hmm?
Winter,
Summer is getting colder.
no. The autumn, winter.
Okay, the winter.
The winter is getting colder. In the spring,
No. The winter is getting. It's the negative. Okay, so the winter is getting warmer, right? Okay, because it's not colder. Because if it is colder, so that would be good. But nowadays, because of global warming, so the winter is getting warmer, right? Because the ice are melting, right, Toy? Okay,
yes.
and what else? Or
And
you can also say, or
spring
spring Okay.
Electric.
Getting colder.
Huh?
Okay. So winter is getting warmer or spring is getting colder? Actually not. So we don't have, okay? So that would be only one, right? Because
Yes.
the winter is getting warmer because of the global warming. That's why the ice is melting, right? Okay, next. What about in letter D? So summer
Is
get starting
starting
earlier or later?
earlier.
Earlier, yes, actually. Okay. Why? It started in actually here in the Philippines. Yeah, we started feeling hot March in
Yeah.
the middle of March. Okay, so summer is starting earlier. Okay. Okay. And we can say that ends later. Right, Toy?
Yeah.
Yeah, why it ends later? Because it's
Oh,
going to be longer. So the summer actually is starting earlier and ends
I don't like
later,
it.
right? So when
I don't
say
like it because I kind of
yes,
lost.
I don't like it too, okay?
Yeah.
Actually, if I had this particular time to go to the mountains, I will do that because in the mountain, it's something colder compared to the city, right, Toy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next. What about letter E? Okay, there is
There
more
is,
rain, less
yeah.
rain in the winter. So what are we going to do? So there.
Rain.
Okay, there is more
Rain.
rain, okay, in the winter, right? So that's why it can also be a problem if there is more rain in the winter. Okay, next. What about letter F?
There is
There are
uh
fewer storms in the summer, right, Toy? That
yes.
means actually sometimes it doesn't have a storm in summer. Okay? Here in the Philippines during summer, we cannot experience storm and rain during the
Mm.
whole summer. So it's going to be very hot actually. Okay, so there are fewer fewer storms in the summer. Okay, so that's the problem. So by this particular sentences that we had, Tuy, actually, we can say that the world is changing. The weather condition is changing, right? Okay,
Yes.
because during the time of our grandparents, actually, in Antarctica, instead of the ice is going to melt, it's going to be colder and colder. So during those times, right? Because the ice is not melting. But this time, the ice is now starting to melt in Antarctica because of the global warming. So, what's the reason, do you think, why there is a global warming, Troy? It's because of pollution,
Yes.
right? Because of what we are doing with our nature. So people in the mountains keep on cutting trees, right, Troy? So what happened if the people keeps on cutting trees? So there would